month, and I just want to explain to y'all why some black men will never go to therapy.
Just a correction. Just a quick correction. Um, well, just a quick correction because I've been seeing it go on everywhere, and it's a popular uh, mistake. This is Men's Health Awareness Month. June is Men's Health Awareness Month. Men's Mental Health Awareness Month is in November. Mental health is of course an important part of health overall, but specifically the common mistake being passed around is that people are saying this month, June, is Men's Mental Health Month, when indeed that is in November, and June is Men's Health Month overall. I'll let the black man continue. Just wanted to make sure I got that out there.
Stick with me, please. You're going to learn something, I promise. A black man recently asked a simple question on social media. Simple. He said, where are the safe spaces for men to vent? And where are the safe spaces for men to let out what they're feeling when they feel like the whole world is on their shoulders? And boy, oh boy, these responses. Robin said, therapists take men as clients too. Thank you so much, Robin. We didn't know that. Then we have another comment. The world is not on your shoulders. Y'all can't even buy groceries without calling your wife. Go to therapy. What these people are doing is the worst way to recommend therapy to a black man. Insulting a black man and adding therapy to the end of your insult is not going to make him want to go to therapy. Too often I'm seeing on social media and in real life, when a man is expressing himself and people don't have the capacity to handle that expression, instead of saying that, they dismiss his expression entirely, invalidate him, and then attach therapy to their invalidation. That sounds like, man, you don't know what the hell you talking about. You need to go to therapy. Man, you toxic. This is why you need to go to therapy. Pairing therapy with your insult doesn't make black men want to go to therapy. It just adds another barrier. It does the opposite of what you're intending for it to do. If you ever want to guide a black man towards therapy, here's what you should do instead. You don't start by insulting him or invalidating him. You start by recognizing him, because the goal is to disarm him so he's receptive to the idea. So let's say he's expressing himself. If you have the capacity, and only if you have the capacity, you let him finish and then you say, I hear you. It sounds like you've been carrying a lot by yourself for a long time. That disarms him and he will feel seen. Then you add, have you ever thought about talking to somebody where their job is just to support you and listen to you and help you sort through it? Now therapy feels like support and not judgment. Same destination, completely different experience getting there. And he, more importantly, has a completely different feeling attached to therapy now. And for the black man watching, don't let somebody's poor delivery block your access to something that could literally change your life and help you get control over what you're carrying. Therapy is dope, and I know because I've done it. It was one of the best investments I've made as a black man, and it changed my life. It can change yours too. And if you need help finding a therapist, we can help you. Send a DM. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. Share this page and this post with a black man that needs it. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I just want to explain to y'all why some black men will never go to therapy. Stick with me, please. You're going to learn something, I promise. A black man recently asked a simple question on social media. Simple. He said, where are the safe spaces for men to vent? And where are the safe spaces for men to let out what they're feeling when they feel like the whole world is on their shoulders? And boy, oh boy, these responses. Robin said, therapists take men as clients too. Thank you so much, Robin. We didn't know that. Then we have another comment. The world is not on your shoulders. Y'all can't even buy groceries without calling your wife. Go to therapy. What these people are doing is the worst way to recommend therapy to a black man. Insulting a black man and adding therapy to the end of your insult is not going to make him want to go to therapy. Too often I'm seeing on social media and in real life when a man is expressing himself and people don't have the capacity to handle that expression, instead of saying that, they dismiss his expression entirely, invalidate him, and then attach therapy to their invalidation. That sounds like, man, you don't know what the hell you talking about. You need to go to therapy. Man, you toxic. This is why you need to go to therapy. Pairing therapy with your insult doesn't make black men want to go to therapy. It just adds another barrier. It does the opposite of what you're intending for it to do. If you ever want to guide a black man towards therapy, here's what you should do instead. You don't start by insulting him or invalidating him. You start by recognizing him, because the goal is to disarm him so he's receptive to the idea. So let's say he's expressing himself. If you have the capacity, and only if you have the capacity, you let him finish and then you say, I hear you. It sounds like you've been carrying a lot by yourself for a long time. That disarms him and he will feel seen. Then you add, had you ever thought about talking to somebody where their job is just to support you and listen to you and help you sort through it? Now therapy feels like support and not judgment. Same destination, completely different experience getting there. And he, more importantly, has a completely different feeling attached to therapy now. And for the black man watching, don't let somebody's poor delivery block your access to something that could literally change your life and help you get control over what you're carrying. Therapy is dope, and I know because I've done it. It was one of the best investments I've made as a black man, and it changed my life. It can change yours too. And if you need help finding a therapist, we can help you. Send a DM. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. Share this page and this post with a black man that needs it.
You, what it do? Newbies, you are not in the wrong place. You are, of course, with your favorite coach's favorite coach, your favorite fat freckle man, the big dog himself. Who? And I am Coach, the host of the Life Be Lifing podcast. Thank you. You're far too kind. So first and foremost, thank you for everybody who tunes in tonight. Tune in whenever you tune in. Hopefully you're catching this live, and if not, still hitting the play. We appreciate speaking of hitting play as this episode goes on. In fact, before the episode continues to go on, if you're here, go ahead and subscribe, especially since it's probably not your first time here. But if you like the episode, like the episode. If you dislike the episode, hit dislike. Just make sure you leave me in the comment to tell me why you didn't like it, what you didn't like about it. Share it, because the more people who see it, the more the platform grows. So to start off with the clip that started out the episode. Matter of fact, I do have some other clips queued up and ready to go. But I'll go to those in a bit because I don't want to overload you guys out the gate. I've been having this bone to pick about the discussion of therapy in black men, the discussion of black men opening up, the discussion of black men unpacking whatever it is that we need to unpack, as far as whatever it is we got going on mentally, emotionally, so forth and so on. My problem, of course, is not with the concept, because I believe it's something we need to do in earnest. My problem is and has always been with the conversation around it. the conversation around the need for the black man to get himself together in all the ways that matter is disingenuous. I think that's the best way I can say it, the most respectful way I can start saying it, is that it's disingenuous in most cases. Um it's not coming from the place of really like, man, I see black men, they struggle with a lot. They hurting right now. And you know what I think would definitely do that black man a great service is if he was to unpack everything he's going through. Yeah, that'll help him out. That'll put him in a good place. If he goes get some therapy, yeah, that'll change his life for the better, for sure. And I know the conversations haven't gone like that because the suggestions haven't gone like that. Just as the brother was saying in the clip, how the conversations are usually going. In fact, how it went in that situation. Random brother asks, where is the safe space for men to vent? Because he notices that via social media, there's plenty of safe spaces for women to vent, right? Like, let's be, and before social media, there was plenty of safe spaces for women to vent. Like, we say before everybody, had podcasts, and before the Black Male Podcast became the second coming of the Antichrist, um, and was vilified to the degree with which it is. Um, you know, the popular thing was talk shows, whether it was led by men or whether it was led by women. Talk shows was the order of the day. Ty of Fobs, thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for joining. Appreciate y'all. Um, women had talk shows. You didn't have talk shows really for men like that. Now, you don't need talk shows because people have their own platforms. I mean, you still do have talk shows, so I don't want to say you don't need them, but that is not the only way for somebody to express themselves, for somebody to have a platform to help others express themselves or have these conversations, because now we do have podcasts. Um, and now I heard somebody say that it wasn't it wasn't a gender war until men started talking back. Like, it wasn't a gender war until our voices were being heard on, like, wide platforms. Because when we're saying their piece, when we're coming on these shows, having these conversations, so forth, so on, and you didn't really have a men's version of it, but now you're hearing the man's voice, now you're hearing the male voice, and now it's causing problems. And there's some truth in that, right? There's the resentment of maybe a section of women that really didn't want to hear what men go through and really didn't want to hear their side of things. But also there's men who've abused the opportunity and abused the platform. Like, I ain't finna name no names because I don't want nobody going to their page, and I don't want them getting no clout. Uh, Not that they getting clout off of me, because usually them people are more famous than I am, unfortunately. I don't even say more famous, more known, because negativity sells, right? Um, but I'm not saying no names, but y'all know a lot of those people, you know what I mean, that have those fake alpha male podcasts, and you know, red pill podcasts, as if they understand how the red pill is shaped. Pause. But like how it was really, structured, and what it's really supposed to mean. Yeah, black men having red pill podcasts, even though the red pill was never really intended for black men, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I get how now that changes things. But again, my problem, now that we have platforms, now that we can all share our thoughts openly, publicly, for people to see, the lack of responsibility attached to that impacts different conversations, and the conversation about men needing to unpack things, men need to go to therapy, men needing to open up. It's nasty work. It's nasty work. All the first thing people do is throw therapy at you when they don't like how you behave, when they want to label you, and when they want to be dismissive of you, and they want to label you as, basically trash, as basically broken. That's what they want to do, is, hit you with therapy. Um, Not suggested in a way where it's like it'll genuinely help you, it'll genuinely improve your quality of life. It's so disingenuous to see some women, and I'll be even more specific, to see some black women start these conversations about therapy with men. Man, y'all got to be careful. Y'all have to be careful. Y'all have to understand that not every black woman has your best. Well, I'm sure you understand that not every black woman has your best interest at heart, but you have to understand that there are some that do. There are absolutely some that do. But it's a difference in how they're going to talk to you, and the difference is really clear, honestly. It's worlds apart. Worlds apart. Because these people, and not just women, but these people who like to just throw therapy at you like it's a fastball at 100 miles an hour, hoping to smack you in the head with it. It's sad because some of them be in therapy themselves, but clearly they're not doing the work they're supposed to do. Either that or their therapist is terrible. But it's like, okay, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I disagree with you, so you need therapy. I don't like the way that you treat people, so you need therapy. Maybe that person don't need therapy. Maybe they just need their ass whooped. Maybe they ain't never got a beating before. Maybe they ain't never been checked before. Maybe they just need to know that there's somebody out there bigger and badder than them. I'm just saying. Not everybody's the therapy isn't the fix for everybody. There's other things. Maybe that person needs a spiritual anchor. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You're not equipped to just assess any and everybody. But again, because this is Men's Health Month, um, and yes, this kind of probably would be better tailored for Men's Mental Health Month. But again, people keep making the mistake that this month is Men's Mental Health Month. I'm kind of bringing this into the conversation. There's the emotional context that will come later in this conversation. I just want to address this clip off the rip, off the dribble, um, because I've been saying it for years now that I really have. What I reference it to is, instead of suggesting therapy as a tool, they use it as a belt. Like, stand still. Didn't I tell you you need therapy to fix your attitude? And it's just like, bro, that's nasty work. It is very nasty work. It doesn't help. As the man said, that doesn't help. You're never going to be able to insult somebody into the therapy chair, into a therapist chair, or onto telehealth. Damn, that person really disrespected me, man. Let me go ahead and book my session with Dr. So and so. And that's why I said it's disingenuous. Because, and the part that pisses me off with those black women, and I want to be clear that this is not all black women. So I'm going to attack them directly, and I do mean attack. Um, the problem with them punk ass, suck ass, disingenuous, lying ass black women, that's particular section of them. The problem with them, it is that they actually understand what they're doing. But if you confront them about what it is they're doing, they pretend as if they don't. Why I gotta hold your hand to get you to go to therapy? Why I gotta sweet talk you in the therapy? Why I gotta beg you to go to therapy? Be a man. Nobody's asking you to do none of those things. Nobody's asking you to ask, beg, sweet talk, hold, none of that. I don't know if you saw the clip that I ran at the beginning of the episode, Ty, But this is referring to that clip. Um, and in the title of the episode, I don't know if you checked the title. So, matter of fact, for anybody who's late, the title of this episode is, I put in quotation marks, "Black men, we do care," and then I put dot 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 kinda. Am I being facetious? Completely. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to keep in mind, you got to have some snappy, interesting, controversial, somewhat titles sometimes to draw some people in that don't already watch. Um, so, um, so that's just what's I said Ty, and I meant to say Tommy. My bad, Tommy. If you didn't see the clip at the beginning, this is what I'm speaking towards, is the disingenuous nature of quote unquote suggesting therapy when what you're just doing is really just insulting the person and then using therapy as a blunt object, right? Like using it as a way to basically disregard people. No, 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 no. Not black men care, bro. It's saying, because that's a popular post that goes around where it's a woman saying, "Black men, we do care." You know what I'm saying? Because black men are used to people not caring about our feelings. Men in general, honestly, are used to people not caring about our feelings, our emotions. They don't care about our thought process until we go crazy, until we about to snap. They don't care about our thought process until we're dating them. And then you confusing your women friends now. Don't do me like that. Don't make me sound like a friendship womanizer. My God, welcome to the episode, Myron. Welcome to the episode. Professor Petty in the building. Um, but going back to what I was saying, the problem is that those women who do that kind of stuff, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And then they won't even just be like, well, yeah, fuck you. Like they won't even just be straight up in the fact that they playing in your face. They sit there and make it sound like they were genuinely trying to offer you a healthy alternative to better your life. I don't know if you guys remember that lady who was a therapist a couple of years ago who lost her job because she was busy making TikToks. And in one of those TikToks, she was telling men off and basically, you need to get your ass a therapy or else you're going to die alone. Lady, you're a professional. That's not how it goes. But I ain't going to get too much into her situation. That's just an example of how, you know, instead of something being healthy offered to you that could actually help you in a way, because you see something's wrong with a person and you offer them help. Like if you see somebody struggling with their sleep or you see somebody nodding off all the time, you're going to be like, dang, you cool? You getting any sleep? That's going to be the question you ask, right? And they say, nah, man, I ain't been getting sleep at night. The first thing you going to suggest is something that's a sleep aid or sleep technique or something, right? When you care. If you don't care and you notice that person nodding off all the time, like, damn, is that nigga on drugs? What you on that fatty? What you on that K2 or something? How about you go to bed, you bum? Like, basically, like that's how you want to talk to him. Like, go to bed. Go to bed at night. Damn, stop being up all night doing, stop get off 2K at night and go to bed. Like that's how you approach it when you don't care. When there's the energy of disdain. Like the suggestion of go to bed at night for somebody who's not sleeping is not in itself wrong. It's the way you did it because you really didn't care about that person. You really don't want them to get better. If you see a fat person, hello, I'm a fat person, and you see this person complain, or you hear this person complaining, you see this person struggling, you see this person laboring, and you can tell it's weight related. And they be like, man, I just had to go up to the second floor and back downstairs for the third time today. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, man. And you say to them, well, maybe if you took your fat ass to the gym, you'd be able to get up and down them stairs. If you hit, I don't know, Stairmaster, treadmill, I don't know. You can't tell me that you being helpful. You can't tell me that it's you genuinely offering something that you think is gonna better them. You're not. You're not. And you actually don't care if they get any better. That's you just taking the opportunity to take a shot at them. Because if you really wanted better for them, you would ask them, a question first, like the brother suggested, or you would say something that says, yeah, that's not always the easiest walk, is it? What do you think you could do to make it a little bit easier? Or you could suggest, hey, you think maybe you need some better shoes, some better footwear? Hey, um, if you're looking to get into, working out, I don't know if you work out, but if you're looking to get into working out for less money, a cheaper gym membership, right now, Planet Fitness got the $20 joint, no down payment, and you could rock that out for 6 months. If that works for you. You know what I'm saying? The conversation is different. So that was just to address that clip. I got a couple more clips that I'm gonna play real quick, along the lines of what we're talking about here, and black men being encouraged to open up, but not really. Like most times, we're just not really encouraged. It's fake encouragement. Like I don't really have a better way to say it. It's facetious. It's facetious. It's disingenuous.
They don't like the situation that they're in as far as marriage because of the fact of they have to live up to that notion, happy wife, happy life.
Now, why wouldn't men like that?
Because it eliminates their own humanity. And even in a relationship where you're partners and, these things, let's remove all aspects of gender roles and all of those things. They don't have a voice. They can't even vocalize how they feel about certain things or when some things happen because of the fact that it makes their significant other upset or they get defensive about it. And so instead of them really standing in their truth, they'll be like, all right, man, you got it. I'll just shut up.
Now we internalize it, we suppress it, and that suppression leads to resentment long term.
But then long term, we be like, oh, I done been in this marriage for so long, and I might as well just say.
Just say F it.
Yeah.
Just deal with it.
Let's deal with it. And then they're like, they'll say, this is life.
Right.
There isn't space to talk about how we feel because now we have to begin to sort of console them for what we said and how it made them feel. So now I have to bottle all this back up again, and I have to go back to that place and say, you know what? I'm never going to open up again.
It's funny, it's funny, but it's not funny in a way. But, just looking at it and just understanding the whole circle of it. It's like, I tell you how I feel. You hear how I feel. You neglect how I feel. Now I got to cater to you because how I feel makes you feel a certain way. So now I got to cater to you. So now my feelings are back, put back in the...
Man, the amount of married men that I counsel, I'm talking about brothers who love their wives, don't trust them.
My brothers, let's just heal.
Ty, it depends on the person because some people respond to different approaches. So that's true, right? You can shoot straight with you can shoot straight with people. That's why I said it don't have to be kissing ass. It don't gotta be sugarcoating with everybody. Some people, yes, they only gonna accept it to you if you package them in a kind way. But what the baseline has to be every time is respect. Somebody I can respect can say, motherfucker, get up off the fucking chair and get in this gym with me. right? That's somebody who I respect and who I know is saying that with my best interest at heart. Excuse me. The difference is there's no connection when this stuff is being offered. It's not somebody shooting straight with you because they're just a straight shooter. Like in the clip at the beginning where that man talked about where is its event, and they start saying, oh, well, therapists take men too. That's not just her being a straight shooter. You want to know why that's not being a straight shooter? Because I guarantee you that same girl, I'm willing to bet any amount of money that that same girl that had that response for that brother, when she see her homegirl out of shape, wearing clothes that don't fit, don't sit there and be like, they got gym memberships for women too, shorty. You see what I'm saying? So if you wouldn't do that in your personal life, then why attack somebody else just because y'all not connected? No need to do that. That's why it's not real. If you would, some people is just rough, right? Some people is just rough. They talk to everybody rough, like super blunt, callous even, right? And we know those people, and you know how we know those people? Because when that person says something and to somebody who never heard them talk before, they be like, damn, you know what we all say? Man, that's just how they talk, bro. So yes, some people just are like that. But more often than not, when these conversations about opening up, therapy, so forth and so on get brought up, where men start to try to breach the door. That's what it is a lot of times. When you see that kind of comment about that social media comment about where can men open up, where's a safe space for men, that's somebody that is literally what they call a cry for help. Somebody who wants to open up, somebody who wants to talk and has already taken L's trying it before. And some people need the straight medicine, the medicine straight though. Everybody ain't therapeutic. I I don't disagree with that whatsoever. That's basically what Taya is saying. What I'm saying though, what I'm saying though, is this a difference between straightforward and disrespect? And we don't need to pretend that those lines are blurred. Like that's what I'm trying to say. We don't need to pretend like we don't know the difference between a straight shooter and somebody disrespecting you. I don't need anybody everybody to be therapeutic. Nobody does. Nobody needs everybody to be therapeutic. Even the person who is thin-skinned has that one friend that knows how to talk to them in a way where if anybody overheard it, it would sound rude, but to them too, they have that connection. So what I'm saying is this: if if the only way you know how to talk to people is rude, it says something about you. It's not you being a straight shooter. And I'm tired of people leaning on that excuse just to be rude, callous, and thoughtless. Because that's what it is. It's an excuse because you don't do that everywhere. Like I know there's people who like again, there's people who rough and there's people who talk in a very callous way, in a very blunt way, right? Amongst their peers. But if you can manage to not do it at work, that means you know something about time and place. So then you should be able to understand time and place when it comes to different people. There's a time to tell a person, get the fuck up and make something shake. And then there's a time to tell a person, hey, I got you. Let's go get this. You don't need to be a therapist to do that. Nobody loves you more than young children. Bro, come on, bro. Come on. We talking about children who are not equipped. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, bro. Now you bringing up children who are unequipped. And that's what the difference is. That's why it's a problem. Because we're talking about grown people, bro. So if you're telling me that you haven't learned since a child, not you specifically, of course, bro, but if what you're telling me is that somebody's excuse for never being able to talk to somebody respectfully is that, oh, well, kids just say the most brutal things. Yes, because kids don't have tact, because kids don't understand sarcasm. There's kids that literally don't understand sarcasm. They just say what is on their mind because they're learning how to express themselves. And if you are at the level of a single digit child, you are the fucking problem. You're the problem. If you can't find a way to suggest healing, hard work, introspection without being disrespectful to someone, again, we don't need to pretend that there's not a line, a thick line. It's not thin. It's not thin. There's not a thin line between disrespect and straightforward. It's not here. That is not where it's at. Disrespect, straightforward. At best, the line is this thick. So, bro, no, that's not even acceptable. Comparing grown people and their abilities that they should have gained over time to children is really not acceptable. It's really not, brother. For the clips that we just played, again, the conversation is about women who, because I want to be clear, there's Black women every day trying to create safe spaces for Black men. It's real. I've experienced it myself. I know women who do it for other men. It's a real thing. As hard as it is for some Black men to believe because they haven't experienced themselves, I can tell you it's real. But there's a difference between what they are doing and, like I said, what's going on in this situation where it's fake and where it's pretend. Because a woman telling, as the man said in the last one, a woman telling you to open up about your feelings or open up about your problems with her, right? Baby, something's not going on right between me and you. What's going on? You seem withdrawn. You're not coming out to, the family gatherings anymore. We haven't been on a date in a while. What's going on? And the whole time you want to tell her, like, yo, you just really inconsiderate. And you behave inconsiderate. And I don't want to be embarrassed by you behaving inconsiderately towards me out in public. You want to tell her that, so you go ahead and you decide to tell her that. What you say, it's a trap? Nah, bro. Like, sometimes it is, but that's what the conversation is, right? So she's like, yeah, go ahead and go ahead and tell me what's going on. And he decides to say what's going on. And now he can't even get through his entire sentence because the minute he says inconsiderate, you really think I'm inconsiderate? But I think about you all the time. I do this for you. I do that for you. I do that. I can't believe you think I'm inconsiderate. And I just, the other day, I went to my stop and I got you your socks for your favorite basketball team. Or it's not even the crying version. It's the snapping version. Oh, you think I'm inconsiderate? I'm inconsiderate. You left the bathroom toilet up the other day, but I'm the inconsiderate one. Oh, okay. You up there playing Call of Duty, sitting there yelling out orders, flank, as if somebody knows what flank is. You ain't never been into the military a day in your life. I'm sleeping and I can't sleep. Well, because you're playing Call of Duty at night when I'm in bed, but I'm the inconsiderate one. And all he tried to do was be straightforward and honest with her. There's a bunch of men with that story. It's not new. It's not new. So I think the problem, like again, the problem is when it's being offered in a disingenuous way. When the opportunity to communicate, when the opportunity to be the best version of yourself is really like, for lesser, either it's not being offered from a genuine space, or in this case, as Myron said, it's really a trap because that person is not prepared for them to be the problem. um Men really don't do well with that. Men really don't do well with that. um Suffering in silence is suffering. Speak up and don't worry about the response. Ah, man. No. No. Taya, I respectfully disagree. Don't worry about the response. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Don't worry about the response. You're gonna have to explain that to me in a way that makes sense, because I genuinely don't see how you don't worry about somebody's response when you having a conversation. Gaslighting. She didn't have an issue until you brought up an issue. Walk away. I mean, yeah, sure. And then what? Like, these are oversimplified solutions, you know what I'm saying, to the problem. Like, yeah, okay, you walk away, and then what? What is, I agree about the walking away. I do, 1,000%. I That's the only thing you can do in that situation. And so I agree with you. Just to be clear, I agree with you that walking away is the best thing you can do, because you can't when that person is not really there to listen to you. But is that is where um that is where still the issue is, right? Is that, yeah, sure, you walked away, but all this proved to you is that when you hear a woman say, open up, when you hear a woman say, yes, I do care, I really want to know how you feel, you're being proven differently. You're being shown differently. So sure, you walk away, but now you're not, now it's already put it in your mind. Because one thing men don't like to do is waste their time. One thing men don't like to do is talk to a wall. So once she's already shown that she's not receptive, what you gonna do? And that goes to your, as you said, suffering in silence. Yeah, it's still suffering, but you know what it is? It's suffering with less steps. And that be the problem, and that be the cycle that men get stuck in, unfortunately. I agree, Ty. Let the chips fall where they may. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Let the chips fall where they may. And then what? I'm I guess the part that I'm trying to get, what, to say, oh, I'm gonna say whatever, and I'm not gonna care about their response. I don't know how realistic that is to do every single time. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know how that is to. I don't know what exactly that creates. To be honest, it's not about what the person's. It's not that. Okay, now I can see it. It's not about what she says or does. It's about you opening up. Keep doing it. When you give up, the other person gets their way. All I have to do is say something, and he gives up, and I win. Now, I didn't say anything about giving up, but this cut. So this is where I'm confused. One minute you said walk away, and then the next minute you're saying not give up. So which is it? Because now I'm confused. Now I'm confused. Now I am confused. And this is why therapy is really helpful. to help you hash out what you have to hash out. Because the truth be told, sometimes you and this person, y'all communication is not going to be aligned. It creates freedom and growth in your expression, maybe at the cost of everything else, though. That's all I'm saying. Like, I need y'all. That's all I'm saying, bro. Is that at the end of the day, sure you can do it that way, but it's not as if that is going to necessarily solve it. So again, I wasn't encouraging men to suffer in silence, as Taya said. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I don't believe in not caring about how somebody else reacts. I think that you should care about somebody else reacts and how they react, because I also think that how they react tells you about the situation that you're in. I'm saying say your piece and walk away when the person starts bringing up their issues to counter yours. Okay. Okay. I mean, me personally, um, no, you didn't. The guy on the video did. Oh, okay. Okay, got you. Got you. Um, so again, like Ty, I don't believe that suffering in silence is the answer. But I understand why men do it. Because again, nobody likes talking to somebody who you feel like isn't gonna listen. Um, I know me personally, that's how I am. I'm I what y'all speak about with freedom of expression, saying it just to say it don't feel good to me. Honestly. Saying it to somebody who's not listening, that doesn't feel good to me. If I'm gonna complain about something and you're not gonna change it, and I come back and I have to complain about it again, and you're not gonna change it, what I sound stupid for complaining about the same thing to the same person. At that point, all it says to me is that an adjustment has to be made, because that person's not going to make the adjustment that you want them to make. You have to be consistent in speaking up, not get discouraged by the outcome. That's the only way you change a pattern. No, you don't change patterns. You don't change patterns. That person is going to have to change a pattern. Now, I believe in speaking up, but you don't change the pattern. That person has to change the pattern. That's the truth of the matter. Is that whoever it is you're dealing with has to change their pattern. You can speak on it every single day. Free yourself with the expression. Doesn't mean they're going to change. And then what, right? So, again, you need to be on there to explain. We'll do a follow-up episode. We'll do a follow-up episode um, at some point where we could talk about this whole expression thing. Um, but more to the point of what I was trying to illustrate is the fact that what men are running into, the obstacle that men are running into, is fake encouragement to be okay, or to do, or to unpack things. Men are running into fake encouragement to unpack things. And I think that's very unfortunate, but also I think it behooves us men to do our due diligence, to pay attention to the situations that we're in, um, to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And by that, I don't mean, as again, bringing up a tie said, I don't mean suffer in silence. I mean, that may be your cue to dip. It might be. It might be. Either it might be your cue to dip, or it might be your cue to prepare to dip. Because sometimes just walking away from a relationship, marriage, um, ain't as simple as just, all right, I'm done. Bye. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is, but sometimes it's your sign that this needs to be wrapped up because uh that person's not intending on hearing you out. You know what I'm saying? That person is telling you they want to talk because I'm trying to figure out how to sum this up quick. Because I don't want to take all night. Um, I know people like to say women are better communicators than men, and I don't know that that's entirely true anymore. But women certainly are more free speakers than men. Like women will say, and they will talk, they will use words better, um, and they will use them more. They will be quicker to speak up than men. That's for sure. Um, but But the problem is, again, speaking up and not being heard is a problem. Nobody wants to sit here and talk to somebody who's going to gaslight them. Nobody's going to want to continue to speak to somebody who wants to use emotional manipulation. Nobody wants to continue to speak to somebody who uses sign language. And by sign language, in case you guys don't remember, or somehow we're under a rock of the Kevin Samuels era, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Sign language. Um, Sometimes these black women who are encouraging black men to open up, they don't mean you well. That does not mean that you should not open up. That's the point that I really really want to hammer home. Despite my disagreements with certain things that Myron and Ty are saying in the chat or said in the chat, I don't disagree with them at all about needing to open up, needing to be able to speak your mind. Um, because if you don't, it weighs on you, and that's why a lot of black men die. I just don't have a better way to say it, or become unalived. I forgot I'm on YouTube. I gotta be careful about certain words. Um, yeah, no, that's why I wanted to make that part clear. Like, you know what I'm saying? I might not, you know what I mean? I kind of I wanted to hash things out a little bit further, but we both were on the same wavelength at the end of things, Ty. Um, that yes, you still have to find a way to open up. Now, like I said, unfortunately, you might need to open up to a third party. Not even yeah, it's unfortunate because if you with somebody that you can't communicate well with, it is really unfortunate. So then you might have to open up to a third party. Um, Men, don't be afraid to open up to that third party. And that third party being the professional therapist, to be clear. I mean, yes, it's cool to have that friend and that confidant that you could talk to, but one, um, they're not they're not uh under your employ, and they have their own issues, and they're not necessarily even qualified to help you out in some of the situations that you'll need help breaking down, unpacking, and speaking on. So definitely seek the help of a professional. Whether it is a whether you need to game plan and you need a life coach, whether you need a mental health therapist, um, whether you need a spiritual leader, whether you need all of those things, don't be afraid to go procure those things just because you see either black women online or you're in a space where black women in real life are using those suggestions, those tools to throw it in your face as a way to be dismissive and disrespectful and play in your face as if there's something, wrong with you in a way that makes you less than or unworthy of. You needing therapy, you needing an OG, you needing a life coach, you needing a spiritual leader. None of that makes you less than at all, at all. And don't allow anybody's captions or posts or conversation to make you feel otherwise. And also, I just want to be 1,000% clear. There are absolutely black women who want you to win black men. They are out there, they exist, they're not on Mars. You don't have to go all the way to this website to go find them. They're not, you got to be invited into this private group. Just make sure that you're properly aligned within yourself. Make sure that you're being yourself, your true self. And at some point, you're going to draw one of those women to you. Whether that's the woman you're going to end up with in a relationship, or whether that's going to be a friend, slash, sister for life. These women exist. I'm blessed to be able to have more than a few of them that I could call on. But yeah, they exist. So don't let the ones that's, playing in your face where they at. You got to find them, bro. I mean, I could tell you that, there's a couple of them in this chat, but my relationship with them is not the same as your relationship with them. Because that's the other thing too, right? That just because there's black women who want us to win, don't mean they're gonna all respond to us the same way. There's black women who love Myron and won't rock with Coach for nothing. Vice versa. So you know, must be them aliens I'm hearing about lately. No, I disagree. But you know, I know you gotta get your jokes in, so I'm gonna put it on the screen. Um, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, um, I want black men who see this to know that that's a real thing. Um, go and plus go in other spaces that you're not used to being. You know what I'm saying? You kind of got to step outside of your casual, outside of your safety zone, outside of your comfort zone. And then you'll start meeting all different types of people who will pour into you, who will, be resourceful in different ways. And unless you go in an all guys situation, I'll guarantee you that that's going to include women. So let's huddle up. Let's huddle up. Let's huddle up and get on out of here. First and foremost, who threw me a oop this week? Who threw me a oop this week? Man, what am I talking about? Shout out to Taya. She threw me the oop to be on the all men panel tomorrow at 7:30 at G Host Bar and Lounge. That is the all men panel, consider man panel for the Turn Your Pot Up Fridays. So yeah, Ty threw me the hoop on that. So shout out to Taya. And shout out to my homegirl Autumn for mentioning certain things that my son can take advantage of as he's getting ready to go to college. Excuse me. 7 to 8:30, correction, 7 to 8:30. 7 to 8:30 tomorrow. 7 to 8:30 at G Host Bar and Lounge, 1635 West Hunting Park Avenue. That's in Philly, folks. Philly. 19140, I believe, is the zip code. Um, but yeah, so shout out to those folks who threw me the oop on that. Is there anything else? Anything else? 16. I had it messed up. I said 1635 and 1653. Shout out to Ty throwing me the oop with the corrections. 1653 West Hunter Park Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19140. But that's tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'll be part of that. And I think that's it for the oops for the week. So let's huddle up so we can get on out of here because the clock is ticking down. Almost ball game. So in summary, don't be fake ass offering suggestions when you being, mean spirited. You know what I'm saying? You being black hearted. Just leave people alone. I get, two, Therapy is not a hammer to hit nobody over the head with. It's a tool that somebody uses to improve themselves. Treat it as such. You wouldn't hit somebody with a hammer and then tell them go ahead and bang the nail in. You would hand them the hammer and then tell them go ahead and bang the nail in. Pause. And lastly, for sure, I'll put that on the screen. But lastly, there are Black women who care Black men. I hope and pray that you find them as I have, or that they find you as they have found me, to be perfectly honest, because I was not out there searching, but quite a few of them have found me. So I pray that for y'all who don't have that in your corner, because the more Black men and Black women are united, the better off we will all be. All right. So as I always say, first and foremost, on behalf of A.C.E, my brother who he always be, on behalf of the owner of Simply Nashay Catering, the co-owner of Second Line Express, the mother of Denver, the stepmother of Bryce, Caden, and oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting my baby name, Riley. Jesus, I'm sorry, Riley. On behalf of Mrs. Ferrier, Quiche with the cakes. Be safe, be respectful, be smart, be patient. That includes with yourself. Be kind to as many people as you possibly can. I know some people gonna make that impossible, but don't worry about those people. Just make the time out every single day to be kind to yourselves, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. All right. Let's break on three. The word for this week. I probably should come up with a word for a week since we breaking the huddle, right? Let's go with care. Break on three. 1, 2, 3. Care. Break. Have a great week. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We up out of here.